Welcome to Series 4 of The Life of Letters, a podcast exploring the art, history and future of calligraphy, handwriting and all things letter-related. I'm your host, Laura Edralin, a London-based calligrapher with a curious mind on a journey to connect with artists, historians, experts and letter lovers around the world. This season is once again kindly supported by Speedball Art, who continue to help celebrate the tools and traditions that keep the written word alive. Don't forget, if you want to find out more about the guest, the podcast, or me, check out the show notes. Let's dive into the episode. Many of you will know the Kaweco brand, as its history goes all the way back to 1883, and one of their iconic pens is tucked inside the pocket of nearly everybody that I speak to. But today their range includes fountain pens, rollerballs, clutch pencils and ballpoint pens. With a focus on design and quality, the Kaweco brand continues to innovate, offering classic designs alongside new and exciting writing instruments, which is why I wanted to invite the CEO of Kaweco on and ask Michael a little bit more about the story behind this historic brand, which so many stationery lovers and pen enthusiasts know so well. So Michael, a huge welcome to the Life of Letters podcast.
Hello, Laura, and thank you for the invitation.
You are very welcome. It's lovely to have you here. And I'm so excited that we get to actually have a conversation, because so often you know of the brands and you may even have an item of a brand, but actually delving into the stories about the brand is something that you don't always get to do. So for those who might not know anything about the Kaweco story, can you tell us briefly about just the beginning? How did the company start? Can you take us back?
I can take you back to the 1883. So Kaweco, as we found out, because not everything could found out in the history, but they started as a tip pen shop in the near of the university in Heidelberg. And the shop was so successful that they start their own production of tip pens. Not the nib itself, because in this case, England was very strong. Yeah, the tip pen nibs.
I've heard,
England,
yeah.
England was the largest country for export for that. But Kaweco made all these little holders in many kind of materials. And this was a starting point. Of course, in 1883, by the same time, Mr. Waterman invented the first safety fountain pen. And he is called the father of the fountain pens, of the modern fountain pens, because he put together the system, with the English word, air goes in and liquid goes out. So with this system, the fountain pens with a storage of ink in the back, first time was good that it works proper. You know, ink supply and writing was working together. Yeah?
Yeah,
And
so you don't have to, does that mean you don't
exactly,
have to keep dipping?
You don't have to dip all the time. And Mr. Waterman had a patent on this idea. So it was not possible, of course, to copy it so easily. But worldwide, it was going on, all this kind of stuff. And one day, Kaweco wrote a safety pen, but it was 25 years later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes, 25 years later, and they got also a patent on it. They got a patent on it because they invented, let's say, a fountain pen which cannot lose the cap, because you unscrew the cap and then you had to put the cap on the back and screw it on, and by this the nib come out. And with this, they had a patent which was really great. And funny thing is, during that time, the name of the pen was Kaweco, because the company still was Heidelberger Federhalter Company. Kaweco was only a product, but the product was so successful, this safety pen, this Kaweco safety pen, that they later on changed the whole company name to Kaweco.
That's really interesting. So they've realised that not only is that a really popular pen, it's actually possibly a better brand name to have because it's more
Yes,
convenient, easier to
yes,
say, easier to
yes.
remember. Okay.
And the Kaweco name came from the two owners which invented also this fountain pen. It was Mr. Koch and Mr. Weber, and then company. So Kaweco sounds not so nice. So they
Yeah.
changed it to Kaweco. And
Kaweco.
this is how it came, how it is the company name, then got Kaweco as a
I love
brand
that.
and well known. And in the beginning, they had both logos inside, the Kaweco and H and F for Heidelberger Feder.
Okay, so they were still kind of blending those two brands
Yes,
together.
of
They hadn't
course.
quite let go.
Yes, of course. In the old days, marketing and advertisement was not so easy. So
Mm.
it's not just to put it in your phone
Yeah.
and some picture and marketing is done. Everything has to be printed. So they were very careful and anxious to change anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything needs much longer time.
Yeah. And you've built up an awareness of that brand, I guess. So you don't want to just immediately go, oh, we're under something else and nobody can find you. As you say,
Yes,
it was a different time, wasn't it?
yes, it was a different time.
That's amazing. What a fascinating start to a pen brand, though, to kind of launch something so iconic that the pen itself becomes the brand name, and what a lovely blend of the names as well. It's they've kind of still got their names in there, which is such a
Yeah.
lovely thing all these years later.
29, there was another change because the worldwide crisis was around, and Kaweco, the order book was full, but the company made minus, had no profit, and the bank decided one day, okay, your ground and your factory is more value than your company, and they closed the credit. And the gentleman which owns Mr. Koch during that time owns the company. He lost everything. And the bank was only interested on the ground, and
Yeah.
the rest was sold for 50,000 Reichsmark during that time. I have the old letters, and
Wow.
I have the handwritten letters from the other company which wanted to buy Kaweco then. And there was a salesman, not from Kaweco, but from another small fountain pen company, know the strength of Kaweco. And he was so enthusiastic that from every hotel he was traveling around Germany, he sent a telegram to the possible new owners and said, you must buy Kaweco. You must buy Kaweco. Kaweco is everywhere, in every store, With this brand, our company will have a next level.
Wow.
So in the end, Mr. Grube and two other gentlemen bought Kaweco for 50,000 Reichsmark, and it includes old machinery, old patents, the stock, not the people, only partly. They fired the people, and because the new investors lived in Wiesloch, not directly in Heidelberg, and the bank in Wiesloch give the money, and they said, okay, if we give the money, you have to bring the company to Wiesloch, not any more Heidelberg. So this is why many people lost the job, and they started new in Wiesloch.
Okay.
This was just 1929, 1930.
Okay. So this is a big turning point for the brand,
This
really.
was a big turning point because the new owners, they paid less money, of course, to start. They had a big brand, and for this reason, they could make a big promotion. And I have the letters, the old advertisement letters. It's unbelievable, but they sent it to 9,000 retailers.
Wow.
Today you have to look with a loop to find a stationery shop.
It's true. Yeah. You'd be there a long time looking for 9,000 stationery supplies.
And during that time, they had so many customers. Yeah, it was amazing. And they built up a really nice program, which was working up to the Second World War. Because during the World War, they had to make also military stuff, handles for whatever. And so it was stopped, the production, partly some months or 1.5 years, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And after the World War, they got approvement that they can work further as a pen company, as a fountain pen company. And so they started again. But I think it was already more difficult for them because ball pen came from America, of course, with the soldiers.
Yeah, okay.
The cheap ball pen came, and during the next 20 years, 45 to 65, business become more and more difficult for the fountain pen people because the ball pen. Ball pen was so cheap in production, and what they did, and you can find this in the models from the 60s and 70s from all customers, from all fountain pen makers, Pelikan, Geha, and the other ones. Everybody tried to make the fountain pen as cheap as the ball pen.
Yeah.
And this is nearly impossible.
Yeah. It's a very different, must be very, very different elements that need to make and not easy to make cheaply. So can I ask a question? Around this time, so before the war, were Kaweco only making one style of pen, or were there still lots?
They had a wide range. They had a wide range of pens.
Okay.
They had, of course, safety pens. I don't know if before the World War if they still made safety pens, but I'm absolutely sure they made piston fillers, lever fillers, bottom fillers. They had mechanical pencil, twist pencil mostly for office use, and they made also kind of gift sets where a tip pen was inside, a pencil inside, a razor knife, and a stamp. So this kind of gift boxes. So there was a lot of side business, and also they bought some products from Pforzheim, like for color pencils.
Right.
Not ball pen, for color pencils.
Yeah, yeah.
And also some Sterling mechanical twist pencils. They bought from Pforzheim with their branding on. So this was the business.
So then after the World War, did it change? Obviously, they had this ballpoint pen kind of issue to contend with. What did the range change to?
Yeah, not only the ball pen. This was one thing. Another thing, what started was injection molding. Yeah, injection molding came 50s.
Okay, what is that?
And injection molding is you make a tool, and by plastic injection you form your part.
Okay.
The fountain pen cap or the barrel.
Got you.
In the past, everything was ebonite or celluloid by turning machine. It was meal. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You would use something to create it from the outside, shaving it down and turning it.
You have a rod. Yeah. And the rod is firstly drilled outside and a hole inside.
Yes.
So you make piece by piece.
Got you. Okay. And then the other way is
if
now...
you can injection molding, you have kind of not a powder, it's more like little pieces, like a nutshell. So, and this is melted down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then injected in a in a mold.
Yep.
And then the good thing is you can take out 2 pieces or 4 pieces or 8 pieces or 16 pieces in one time.
Okay. Yeah.
Of
So,
course, this was a big change in the industry as well. And I know an old story from Kaweco, the old owner, which owned Kaweco since 1930, and his son were together in the company. And the father said, "We will never make injection molded pens because they are not good enough. This is not a good quality." So the son secretly made a mold, and he made a cup, a fountain pen cup, including plastic clip molded
oh wow.
directly. I
Yeah.
think it possible was the first cap with clip in plastic molded. I
Wow.
have the prototype. And you know what the father did when he showed him and said, "Father, here, look, this is invention. This is what can be done." The father took the piece, dropped it on the floor, and with the shoe, he grabbed it and said, "You see, this is plastic. With ebonite, this will never happen."
Oh gosh. Okay. So the son had a little bit of an uphill battle trying to prove
Yes,
this might
this
be
is
the way forward.
generation. Yeah, this is generation. And so, you know, the other companies started early, so they had some technical advantage of making pens cheaper and maybe other shapes as well,
Mm.
because you know when you are drill you have always round shape.
Yeah.
When you make a molding, you have different forms also.
Yeah.
And then I think in the 70s, the wife took the company over.
Okay.
She sold or bring in all family-owned houses and all this stuff privately inside, and it was destroyed.
No.
1980, they lost everything. Everything. And they had no limited company. Really very sad. Uh, yeah. This is, they wanted to keep it by all means, you know, keep all this stuff with the know-how and all this thing. And the money which they owed the bank, it was not much, but nobody see a future, so they closed it fully. And they lost everything, all their private houses and apartments, and
Oh
yeah, it was a bad
no.
time for the family for
So
that.
there was a kind of big boom of of for Kaweco. Was that post World War, and then it just the 70s,
Yeah,
it just wasn't working, or something wasn't driving the
yeah. This,
brand forward.
but this is always not only Kaweco was hidden. If you think
Mm.
about Pelican was in trouble, yeah,
Okay,
Pelican
okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
The family lost Pelican. Then Mont Blanc was for sale for 1 Deutschmark.
Wow.
There are so many companies disappeared during that time. Um, uh, uh, Especially fountain pen companies disappeared
Mm.
because they had not adjusted it enough to the market,
Got you.
or
Yeah.
they did not go in the other direction, you know, make more luxury products. Because short later, when Mont Blanc was sold, the new manager decided to invest in luxury brand and said, Mont Blanc is something very good, very solid, can stay for more generations. We make this kind of products again and
Yeah.
take all away of the cheap stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
they
who
put
we
it out.
are. Yeah.
Yes. And this is how they brought it back. Yeah.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
was the sign.
Yeah. And so is that what happened with Kaweco as well? What happened after that?
No, Kaweco really was no was
That was gone.
Kaweco was closed, and um, I have to say Kaweco was a customer of my father, because, as you know, my father had his own business from 1960, and he was supplying pen parts as an agent in Europe to all the pen companies. So
Right.
Stedler, Lamy, Faber, all are customers of our old business and still are some old customers of ours. We
Wow.
make special parts, what they cannot do or they do not like to do. We are supplying like clips or a pencil mechanism or some specialty. So, this was my father's business, and Kaweco was a customer.
Got you.
Of course, when 1980 it disappeared, it was not good for my father because he lost some business.
Mm.
But I just started in the company during that time, 79, I started. And so I had no big contact to Kaweco anymore. But 81, 82, during that time, I was going over the flea market here in Nuremberg. And I don't know why, but I found a very beautiful safety pen from Italy. It was golden. I didn't know what it is really is, but it looks wonderful. I thought, this kind of pen I never saw before. And I bought it as a present, as a gift, birthday gift to my father.
Mm.
So, and this is how we start our collection, because on the birthday, I gave it to my father and everybody was looking on, oh, what's that? And how it's made and how is the function? And then we start collecting like crazy.
Wow.
Thousands of pens. Thousands. Every flea market. Then I try to clean old factories, old stores, old shops. I phoned old customers and said, do you have something, parts, whatever you have? It was a wild time, I have to say, because sometimes my garage was full of parts. My wife were angry, and my kids had a lot of stuff to clean. Of course, they got some money for it.
Kept them busy. I mean, there's
Kept
bigger
them-
things that you could be a fan of collecting, right? So maybe
Yes,
it's a good thing that they were small.
yes, yes. So we started collecting, and in 1993, we had many pens, but we were looking for additional business idea because in the meantime, we started 7 years before 87 or 86, we started a cosmetic production, pen production. This was very successful, very successful. So we had the idea, okay, after some years in pens, we must make something similar in pen. And then we took a look on all the antique pens we collected, and we put it in our meeting room on the large table, and put it thousands of pens on it. And he said, what thing, what stuff, what product we can remake, which is not in the market anymore. And then we found out it's a pocket fountain pen. It does not exist worldwide because our connection, we know Mont Blanc, we know Lamy, nobody made a pocket fountain pen anymore worldwide. So, okay, we said pocket fountain pen, good idea. But on our table, we had 4 different brands of pocket fountain pen. It was not only Kaweco in the old days on the market,
Uh-huh.
because Kaweco was successful. There were some other followers.
Okay.
And so we had 4 different brands to choose. But finally, I don't know why, we said the Kaweco Sport is best. Okay. And when we had this selection, okay, it will be a Kaweco Sport, but then we had to do the selection, which kind of model we use, from what period,
Mm.
70s, where they went bankrupt, or the 30s, where they were successful, or the 50s. So forth and back. On the end, we decided for the 30s, from 1930.
And the sport element,
Yeah.
where has that come from?
The Kaweco Sport, the development of the Kaweco Sport was the idea to have a small pen, and in the old days, they have the vest.
Yeah. Like a
The man
waistcoat.
has the
Yeah.
vest, they can place it, and the ladies had little handbags,
Yeah.
not like today, where you can find nothing anymore.
You've got 10 Kaweco
Yeah.
pens in there. Yeah.
So they had small handbags out, and they want to have something small. And of course, the first Kaweco Sport had not the real characteristic of these 8 faces. So it was just a round pen. But in the advertisement, we can see the fountain pen for ladies, officers, soldiers, and sports people. This was really written in the advertisement. And one day, it was, I think, 25, 26 exact records we don't have, as we have no catalogs out of that time. But somebody invented this 8 faces design.
And so just to clarify, because I have a Kaweco
Mhm.
pen, so I know what you're talking about, but just in case anybody doesn't, it's the flat edges
Yes,
that
it's the
make up the
the
outside of the pen.
cap at 8 faces.
Yeah.
And the very interesting on this Kaweco Sport is this is what we also patented now again. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the long cap, very long cap, which goes over the barrel.
Yeah.
The round barrel.
Yeah.
And this is the very special characteristic. Normally,
Yes.
small pens have also a small cap, but this cap is long because the idea was when you put the cap in writing position on the back, you have a normal size fountain pen.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
genius. Brilliant. Yeah.
Yes. Simple, but good.
Yes. Agree. Yeah. So back to the 30s. So the 30s was the model that you went for.
Yeah.
And that was around the time when the Kaweco Sport was.
Yes. This
in
was
its height.
1993, 94, where we made a decision. We invest in molds, but then we made a mistake. One mistake we made because we had not enough money. We decided to make a cartridge filler and not a piston filler.
I don't know the difference. Can you explain the difference?
The cartridge filler is you take an ink cartridge and for filling, you press it inside. Yeah? The
Yeah, and
fountain
it
pen
clips
is
in.
right.
Yeah.
Yes. So you open it and put the cartridge inside and close it, and then it's fine. It's writing. The piston filler is much more complicated. You have you produce a vacuum and you need an ink bottle.
Okay.
The pen, you take the cap off, put it in the ink bottle, and then you screw the blanker to front and blanker back, and then inks, it will be sucked up by vacuum.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this needs much more parts. I think 12 parts we have now in the piston. And so I think personally this was a mistake because even we had not enough money, but during that time, tools were much cheaper than today.
Right. Yeah.
And we missed that chance. But the cartridge filler was okay. It was working properly, but we were not successful. Totally not successful because when we spoke to retailers, they said, okay, this is a nice pen, but only one pen. We have to talk half an hour and we earn only €5. Forget about it.
So the explaining it to customers and trying to sell the pen took a long time. Okay. And then, you might not get a lot of money for that one pen. Whereas,
Yes, they have to explain what is the fun on this pen and what the adventure. And there was no good result. And the retailers, some say, okay, we have already 20 brands. Why we need another one? No need. So, and especially the stationary retailers, I have to say, and pen retailers give us a hard time.
Yeah. You're trying to bring something new out. You're trying to bring something back from something historical. So questioning why.
Yes. The funny thing was that we then goes the other way. We went to lifestyle stores, design stores, concept stores, and they had no pens. And they are funny about the funny item. So they took our pens and they started to sell. And this was really interesting. And of
Wow.
course, yeah. And then two things happened. One thing is, of course, we tried further on the paper world to find additional customers with additional ideas. And we hired a designer from outside to design a new Kaweco Dia. This is a normal fountain pen, standard size. And we asked them, please make a new design because the stores say with Kaweco Sport alone, they cannot make no money. They need something more valuable. So, okay, we tried to make this. So we made a prototype of a new Kaweco Dia. By the way, it was made by Pelican. It was a piston filler. Yeah, we had a cooperation with Pelican, and they said no problem, but they will help us. They produced with us. Yeah. So, and then we were on the paper world in Frankfurt and showed this to some retailer, and they said, no, this is not a Kaweco. Not at all. I said, hey, here's our logo, here's our nib, everything. No. I said, what do you want? Now we bring something, you said more value, and now you say no. How this is possible? And then they said, yeah, we want the old stuff. The old pens. After the third or fourth meeting, I took the sample away and said, okay, no more outside designer. We go to our museum and we take a look inside what we have and we make the old stuff.
Yeah, go back to your roots.
Go back to the roots, yeah. And this was a very big help for us. And the other thing which was helping us was in the newspaper in New York Times, there was a journalist. Without that we know it, he wrote about the Kaweco Sport Pen, a half page, my little fountain pen, which follows everywhere. And this was a very big help because in America, Kaweco Sport was sold out overnight.
Wow.
And also the stationary dealers started to think about the Kaweco Sport.
Hi there. Quick moment to say, if you love all things lettering, I send out a free monthly download to my mailing list. It's totally free, just a little monthly treat from me to you. All the links are in today's show notes. Now let's get back to the episode. That's amazing. Something that, you weren't even aware that was happening. Yes. That must have been a bit a surprise.
Yes. That's, wow. I have to say, on the end, we worked so hard and tried all different ways that the people take our stuff. So when I think to find new distributors, I was really on my knees and said, hey, please try it.
It's so interesting, though, that the first attempt to show everybody the pen has kind of come back. We're here, we're doing it, we're making it. And it was like, we're not sure about this. Yeah. So then you go and do something else to create something you think they want. I mean, it's business all over, isn't it? And then they go, no, I don't want that. We want we want the one that's really you. But that's fascinating. What a journey. And there's probably more, but can I ask a question about the DIY sport? Yeah. Because this is quite a fascinating part of the customer's journey with Kaweco. And I don't know how recently this experiential side of kind of introducing the pens has started.
So the assembling method is an invention from my father. Not for the do-it-yourself. It was done in our production, can be done very easily. But we have, in the production, we have more heavy machines to do it. Yeah, of course, because they make thousands of pens. But my father was always thinking in, how I can say, a little bit like Lego or IKEA, that you can put this part also in this pen and that. So, so that you fit together. So he was always thinking like that. He gave it same thinking to me.
Love that.
So, and one day we had, I don't know exactly, an event or a presentation, and then we had the idea we put two of the normal machines to the paper world show, I think it was, and said, okay, why the people should not make their pen by themselves? So the people like it. The making and the emotion was very large for them. So then we decided, okay, we will offer this to some good retailers. They can also have fun when they have 50 years jubilee or something like that. And then we started with the real heavy machines from the production to ship them around, but we had the problem that they come always broken back because the weight, and the transportation was not very good for the machines. So we invented then lighter ones, also cheaper ones, so that everybody can afford from our distributors to buy more and have more sets and
Yeah.
then to give them out. And what we found is that fountain pens or handwriting is not in the focus anymore of the people today. We wake up and we take a look in our smartphone. So in the past, when you put your clothes on, you check if you have your pen inside. Today it's the smartphone. Absolutely. Our idea is always how we can bring back the attention to the pen or to the pen industry themselves, because also the large companies like Montblanc or Parker do not advertisement anymore. You see any advertisement from them?
No.
It disappeared.
Yeah.
It really disappeared. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little bit nervous about that situation when the market leader with such a lot of money behind and sales does not go in the public anymore. TV,
Yeah.
magazines, become
Yeah.
less and less.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is why we concentrate also on that, how we can bring people back in the store to give them an additional view back to the pens.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And I think you're so right. It does really remind me of that kind of the Lego building experience and that sense of joy that you've created something, and to be able to do that, to, come across that moment in an event where you're sort of maybe
Mhm.
looking at pens, or you are a distributor or retailer and you're thinking, what do I want? To know that there is an additional level to the pen process, the pen making process. It's all about making and creating ultimately, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's the lines on the paper, it's the ink in the
yeah.
cartridge, it's the mechanism and how this flows from your hand to the paper and all
Mhm.
of that. So to be able to build that experience in for customers, I think is just incredible. Yeah, and it's a lovely thing to take away. You cherish the pen more, you use it more probably because you've
Mhm.
got more attachment to it. There's just this real sense of connection, which again
Yeah,
is a lovely thing
yeah.
to be able to offer through something so small and innocent. It's a lovely
Well,
thing.
also as a gift, when you do this and you make it as a gift to your
Yeah,
boyfriend, girlfriend,
yeah, yeah.
wife, whatever, then it's this you can say, okay, I assembled it by myself.
Yes,
It's for you. So this is,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. And so can I ask you, in terms of the future of Kaweco, and you've touched on the kind of wider pen industry and where that's going, what's your hope? What are you most excited about?
I really hope that the pen industry will have the attention in future, because I say always we have two fronts where we are attacked. So one front is the digital, the computer, and the other front is China, because
Okay.
the prices,
Yes. Yeah. The challenges.
the challenges. And I'm always wondering when the people in the governments which take also care of the schools, I don't know what is in England, what kind of part of government, but in Germany, we had this direction, okay, now we do not more handwriting, we use a tablet. And I'm really afraid about that. Yeah, because in some other countries they go back already. I think in Sweden, Finland, and Norway, no more tablet. They go already back to handwriting. Yes, because they said with the normal handwriting, the connection in the brain is much bigger than only by the computer. So, and I can only speak about my experience, what I personally do, because this is how I manage my business. This is how I develop or design my products. I use a pencil and I use a fountain pen. And this I use daily. Yeah. So I sketch my products and only the next step I give it to the technician, which makes a technical drawing. And for me, the connection with the paper, pen and paper, this is really the flow out from my inside to that. So this is normally I cannot do this on the computer. I don't know why it is. I tried it. I have only digital stilo and everything,
Yeah.
but it's not the same for me. It's not the same. I tried it. Maybe I'm too old, or
I don't think so. I think you're just more aware that it's better by hand to paper to
yeah,
you're cutting out a digital element, aren't you? So there is, it makes sense that connection is enhanced.
yeah.
I really hope that it changes direction as well. And as you say, there are countries already doing it and there are people who are leading the way. So I hope that, we all become part of this. And I think there is this resurgence and kind of rediscovery of pens, whether they're historical designs or elements or kind of functions, but there's this real desire to get back to something true and real and hand felt. So I hope it really does come back to that. I think it's exciting.
I'm in general I'm positive because when we started, there was really no pocket pen in the market. Today, maybe we have 100 different pocket pens in the market. And I think what Kaweco did already the last 10, 15 years is that young generations and new starters use the fountain pen. And this is what we see in the letters, what we get as feedback when they first time bought a pen from us and then they fall in love. And they send us sometimes letters and drawings and sketches. And they said, first time I had a fountain pen in my life. It's absolutely, it's great. We have
I love
fun.
that.
So, and for me, this is a hope because we started, how I say, additional market for the pen industry. This is what I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, because Montblanc has now a pocket pen. When you see small one, how many other ones start with pocket pens? So,
yeah.
But there's only one Kaweco Sport, no? Only one.
Only one, absolutely. And also what a huge compliment. You had those challenges at the beginning and you could have given up. You could have taken that as fountain pens no more, pocket fountain pen definitely not. The industry just isn't ready for it. It doesn't want it. And you didn't. You found a way, and that's inspiring. That's
There
really,
was
really
really a time our cosmetic business was so well running, so well. It was 1998. And there's also a nice story for that because Manufactum, Manufactum, I think in England is not. It's a shop chain selling good products from the old days.
okay.
So, and the purchaser, he loved Kaweco. And when we said we maybe give up because we have not enough orders, then he was phoning me and he said, Mr. Gutberlet, you cannot give up. This is impossible. What is the minimum you need for your production? I said, I need minimum 3,000 sets. It's an order from you. And then I will go on. Then I take on my stock. And then he said, okay, we make the deal. I will buy they said. And then we keep going on.
That's incredible. So that
Yeah.
one conversation, that one turning point, that one moment where
Yes,
someone believed
yes,
in you.
where I was really shaky. I said maybe it's not the right time, but he loved it and he believed in all this merchandise still today when it's something very solid and can given through generations,
Mm,
yeah, and hold for more generations. Then it is a very good product. And they are
yeah,
very successful with their stores.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, I love that story. Well, I'm going to throw you a completely different question now, just
Mhm.
to keep you on your toes. So, this series, we're asking everybody a slightly challenging question. What is your favorite letter of the alphabet and why?
This is K.
Oh, Michael, why would that be?
This is because Kaweco, I write so often so that it's a little bit like calligraphy already.
Beautiful.
And this is like in music, you can really write like in music. So this is fun.
I love that. I love that. And I wouldn't have had it any other way. I would have kept asking the question until we got the K out of you.
When I got your question, I really thought, okay, it's not my name because when I sign my name, it's like everybody says it's like up and down, yeah, like a
Yes.
fiber. So in that case, because on my sketches and very often when I have nothing to do, in a meeting or so, I listen and I write Kaweco in all ways. It is
Oh,
fine calligraphy, handwriting letter.
I love that. I love that. That's lovely because often people have those little doodles that they do in meetings. So it's always,
Yes,
you come back to the same one because there's a sort of
yes,
connection to it. I love that. We
yes.
have to get a photo of one of your notebooks with all the.
Okay.
But Michael, thank you so much. So if people want to find out more about Kaweco, they can visit, obviously there's kaweco-pen.com, but there's also Studio Pens who are based in the UK as
Yes,
well. So
yes,
studiopens.com, and they can connect with the UK team on Instagram and LinkedIn at Studio
yes,
Pens. And then there's the
yes,
brand team who are Kaweco.Germany. I'm
yeah.
saying a lot of information, but we're going to put all the links and all the details in the show notes. But yeah, thank you so much. Is there
Also,
anything else? Yeah.
yeah, also if some people have questions because they have an old Kaweco pen at home, they can write me an email through our official email address. I will answer to everyone. To everyone, I promise. This is what I always do. We have so nice stories that people got from the grandfather, some pen, and they want to know how old it is exactly, and so on. So we help everyone if it is possible. This is
Amazing.
the
So
promise.
you're not just a collector of pens, you're a collector of stories and
Yes,
memories and everything.
yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you for being part of the podcast and being on the Life of Letters, because it's super special to have you on here. So thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
talking to me today, Michael.
The last word. Now I found the word what I missed from the beginning.
Oh,
The
brilliant.
capillarity system, Mr. Waterman, yeah, put
Yeah.
together capillarity system and the nib. So, and I was missing this word. I use it daily and it was gone.
It's brilliant. I almost want people to listen to the whole episode so that they get to find out what the missing word is.
Okay, it was a trick.
Say the word again?
Capillarity system.
Capillarity system.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what he invented.
No, he put together. It was existing. You have this in flowers when you put how you say drink a tube.
Ah,
This little tube. When you put it in the water or in your liquid, it goes up, right? What is in the tube is higher.
yes.
This is capillarity system.
Oh my goodness, I've learned
So
so much.
and yes, and he put together that if liquid should come out of a small tube, yeah,
Yeah,
you need air go in first.
got you.
Otherwise, nothing come out. So, and this balance between air in and liquid out makes the ink control on a fountain pen together with the nib.
Got you. And this was where the safety fountain pen came in.
This safety pen was the first one with this, and they call it safety because it was the first time that someone controlled the ink flow really better.
Yeah, my goodness. What a roller coaster. Thank you so much, Michael.
Laura, also thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thanks so much for listening. This series would not be possible without my producer, Heidi Cullip, and kindly supported by Speedball Art, champions of creativity, connection, and craftsmanship. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a fellow letter lover. Until next time, keep listening, keep creating, and keep celebrating the life of letters.